Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Army Public School PMA Kakul Resource Network. Before we start our today's subject Social Studies, please subscribe this page and click on bell icon. In our today's subject, we are going to start our third chapter, that is map reading skills. In this chapter, we will discuss about the hemisphere, equator, latitude, longitude, locating the oceans and continents, lines of longitude and latitude, index, grid, types of maps, objectives, explain how the globe is divided into hemispheres, identify the equator and prime meridian on a world map, locate lines of latitude and longitude on a globe and world map, demonstrate the skill of using map scales to measure roads and rivers. Success criteria: identify two hemispheres on a globe or world map. Locate equator on a globe. Find out the prime meridian on a world map. Identify different types of maps. Present written work in clear and legible handwriting. The hemispheres: a half of a sphere, a half of Earth, as divided in northern and southern halves by the equator, and eastern and western halves by prime meridian. You can see the picture of planet Earth. There are no lines on planet Earth. You can see 2-3 lines. Even these are not actual lines. These are imaginary lines. There are so many imaginary lines which we drawn on planet Earth for our convenience. Now what equator does is that it divides the entire Earth into two equal halves. Similarly, the prime meridian also divides the Earth into two equal halves. So what is the difference between both of them? Let's see. Starting from equator. The equator is an imaginary line drawn around the center of the globe that divides the Earth into two halves, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere is situated between the equator and the North Pole. North Pole, the northernmost part of our planet, is North Pole, and the southern hemisphere is situated between the equator and South Pole. Southernmost part of our planet is known as South Pole. Prime meridian. The prime meridian is an imaginary line that runs from North Pole to the South Pole. It divides the Earth into two halves vertically. Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere. Eastern Hemisphere lies to the east of the prime meridian. and Western Hemisphere lies to the west of the prime meridian. Our question was, both imaginary lines divides the earth into two equal halves. So what is the difference between both of them? As equators divide the earth horizontally, while prime meridian divides the earth vertically. So that is the difference between these two lines. Locating the oceans and continents. A grid is used to make it easier to locate places such as the continents and oceans on a map. We can locate a particular place on planet Earth with the help of latitude and longitude. As the latitude of Pakistan is 30° north and longitude of Pakistan is 69° east. So, together these points indicate that Pakistan is situated to the north of equator. Look at the longitude and latitude of Pakistan. The intersection point between the both lines will be the location of our country. Lines of latitude and longitude. Latitude. Globes and maps are divided with imaginary lines that run from east to west, parallel to equator. They are called the lines of latitude. Apart from the two important lines, equator and prime meridian, there are some more lines which have been drawn on the entire earth. By taking equator as the base, we have some horizontal lines drawn here. These lines which are parallel to the equator, these lines are called latitude. And how they are numbered? They are numbered with equator as 0, and then as you move towards the pole, the number keeps on increasing. So you have 30°, 60°, 90°. Similarly, you have -30, -60, -90. When you have any number that is in negative degree, that means it is in the southern hemisphere. Longitude. Globes and maps are also divided by imaginary lines that run from north to south. These are called lines of longitude. Taking the prime meridian as base, we have drawn number of lines on earth. They all start with the poles and end at the poles. All these lines are longitude. They are also numbered similar to latitude, but they start from the prime meridian. So prime meridian means 0. On the eastern side, they are numbered 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 and 180 is the last one. And here it's -30, -60, -90 and 180 again. On the eastern hemisphere, you have degrees mentioned in positive number. And on the western hemisphere, you have degrees mentioned in negative numbers. Grid. Grid is a network of evenly spaced horizontal and vertical lines used to identify locations on a map. The latitudes and longitudes together make up a grid which covers the entire Earth's surface. And every point on this grid is one location. So, whenever you want to locate some person or something, we actually find the location of that person or thing on this grid and the point where that particular thing or person is located. That is the location of that particular thing. So this grid defines the location on entire Earth's surface. Grid can be used to locate places on a map. The grid formed by the lines of longitude and latitude are used to fix the positions of all places on the Earth's surface and are used by navigators. Index. An index is an alphabetical list of names of people, places, etc., along with the page number where they are to be found in a book. An index is always included in an atlas to help to find the location of countries, cities, and other places shown on a maps. Next to the name of each place, the index will give the coordinates of its latitude and longitude. Map. A diagrammatic representation of an area of land or sea showing physical features, cities, roads, etc. A map is an image of an area, usually of the earth or part of the earth. A map is different from an aerial photograph because it includes interpretation. The word map can also be used to talk about a chart or drawing that shows relationships between ideas, people, events, or anything else. You can think about different types of maps. There are 6 different types of maps. Political map. A political map shows the state and national boundaries of a place. Physical map. A physical map is one which shows the physical features of a place or country, like rivers, mountains, forests, and lakes. Topographic map are a detailed record of a land area giving geographic positions and elevations for both natural and man-made features. Climatic map, a map that reflects the territorial distribution of climatic condition based the results of long-term observations. Economic or resource map shows the specific types of economic activity or natural resources present in an area through the use of different symbols or colors, depending on what is being shown on map. Road map or route map is a map that primarily displays roads and transport links rather than natural geographical information. Scale. Scales are shown on maps because it is impossible to draw a life-size map. Therefore, the actual size of an area is reduced by a constant factor. It is sometimes difficult to relate the distance on a map to real distance on the surface of the earth. A map scale is a ratio that relates a unit of measure on a map to the number of the same units of measure on the earth's surface. For example, a map scale of 1:25,000 tells us that one unit of measure represents 25,000 of the same units on the earth's surface. If the map were large enough, then 1 meter or 1 kilometer would represent 25,000 meters or kilometers respectively on Earth's surface. Dear students, I hope you got the concept of today's lecture. Now get ready for your home task. Write the meanings of any 5 difficult words. Also learn spellings of difficult words. Stay blessed. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.